I'm an average student and I don't think I am cut out for IITs, right? So this is again a lot of people who are struggling with self-doubt at times, right? They may have scored 90% or not. They may have scored 80%. They think that, you know what, I'm not better than the other guy next to me. All right. So I don't think I can do it. In fact, you know, a lot of parents or students come and tell us, sir, मेरा एक दोस्त है जिसने IIT की तैयारी करी थी, वो तो बहुत स्मार्ट था लेकिन उसका IIT में नहीं हुआ. Right? Now, IIT mein nahi hua can have a lot of factors. You can't just say that he was smart and he did not get into IIT and that is your data point. It does not work like that. There are many factors that can basically come in the way of you not clearing IIT. And I'll give you my example. So when I gave my JEE exam in 2003, that was my first attempt. I took a drop after that. I used to think that I'm a very mentally strong person. But you know what? One day before the exam, I couldn't sleep the whole night. Next day, the exam starts at 8 o'clock and ends at 5 o'clock in the evening. And I had not slept even for 2 hours. Now, I cannot come back and say, you know what, I couldn't sleep the one night before and that's why I couldn't clear the exam of IIT, right? So there could be various factors on that day itself when you're giving IIT. And I don't want to get into that particularly right now, but don't go by what other people are doing, what they have done or not done, whether they cleared it or not cleared. You have to look within yourself and you have to decide that where do you stand, right? And average is a function of practice and interest. And they both feed into each other. आप अगर किसी चीज में प्रैक्टिस करते हो, आप उसमें अच्छे हो जाते हो, तो आपको अप्रिसिएशन मिलता है, आपके नंबर अच्छे आते हैं. एंड क्योंकि आपके नंबर अच्छे आते हैं और आपको अप्रिसिएशन मिलता है, तो आपका इंटरेस्ट उसमें बढ़ जाता है. And because interest बढ़ गया, तो आप और practice करते हो. So this is a self-perpetuating cycle that starts. But let's say for a moment that you don't practice enough. All right. Then what will happen? You will not score well in the mock test that we will take over here. Right. And if you don't score well in the mock test, you will feel demotivated. Your interest will go down. And because of that, you will not practice further. And you will start getting into this zone where you will feel that, no, this is not for me. But actually the problem was that you did not start practicing enough for that particular paper, right? So average is a function of practice and interest. The more you practice, the better you become at it. And I really like to give example of Rahul Dravid over here vis-a-vis Sachin Tendulkar. So I ask people that, okay, you know what is the difference between these two great cricket players from India, right? And I'll tell you my version of it. What difference I see between them. Tendulkar was a prodigy. He was high IQ, right? He could play the straight drive very well. He could play the cover drive very well. But Rahul Dravid was a person who did not have that natural talent. He was a person who had to work day in and day out and practice his shots to get to the national level, right? So there are two kinds of people who can excel in anything. One, people who are very good at what they do, but they also work hard. That is the kind of person that Tendulkar is. He was very good at what he did. He was naturally gifted, but he also practiced. In a career spanning 20 to 23 years, he did not stop practicing. He never felt that, okay, you know what, I have played so many games, now I know everything. I don't need to practice, right? So you can have high IQ, but you also need hard work with that. And the other person who can get to the national level is somebody who practices, who does the hard work, who keeps on practicing till he starts getting better at it. And once he starts getting better at it and he sees the results, the interest automatically comes in, right? So what you need is decent IQ and lots of hard work and determination. All right. So make sure that when you are in this zone where you're preparing for IIT, you have to constantly ask yourself, did I give my 100%? And more often than not, when a student comes to us and says that, sir, mere ko to lag raha hai, mere se nahi hoga, right? We ask them this question, did you give your 100%? And more often than not, the answer is no. And for students who keep giving their 100%, they never come to us with these doubts. All right. So make sure that hard work and determination are the key words for you in the next 2 years if you choose to take this path.